What was the reason for this? Right? What caused this? You all know this was all due to Green Revolution. And we just lost one of the greatest scientists of our country, Professor M.S. Swaminathan, and of course, Mr. P. Subramanian, who were the architects of the Green Revolution. Right? Not just that. So this is one in agriculture. What have we done with milk? Right? Operation Flood, or White Revolution. Mr. J. Kurian, his Kurian, Amul, and then whatever. Right? Because today we are competing with states, right? I want to sell this milk. I'm again not giving a political speech. I don't want to sell this milk in this state. I don't want to buy that milk from that state, etc. But that means we are able to surplus. We have surplus of milk today. We were not like this earlier. Right? Again, Korean and backed up by tremendous amount of science and technology. That's what I am trying to drive the point to. Right? Then, of course, no, our space. What have we achieved in space? What have we achieved in nuclear energy? Right? What have we achieved in defense? Right? Again, give some statistics. We are only one of the 10 countries, right, that have nuclear capabilities. One of the 10 countries that have nuclear capabilities. We are only one of the 6 countries that have space capabilities. Spacecraft launching. What have we done with Chandrayaan? It's frugal. The budgets were not very high. Some people said it is less than this Hollywood movie, less than that Hollywood movie, Mangalyaan, right? Or we are now embarking on Gaganyaan. I was just with Dr. Radhakrishnan and Sri S. Kiran Kumar the other day in Bombay, and I was discussing, and they were showing the progress or the vision for the future science space missions of India. And he was mind-boggling. What all things are possible. And we are probably the only country that have used that started our space program for a civilian application. Many of the space programs in many countries started with a military application in mind, and therefore there was no constraints on budget. When you talk about military, there will not be any constraints. But our space program started with a civilian application in mind. It's not that we are not using it for military applications, but our main focus was civilian applications. And it is very difficult to defend such a program with a political class, right? And you all know that how it started. The first sounding rocket that was fired from Timba rocket station was carried on a bicycle. You all have seen that program, right? In any other country, somebody was asked to carry the rocket to this large vehicle. They would tell him, I would this vehicle, that vehicle. But these scientists were so passionate about their work that they just carried that rocket on a bicycle. There's a famous photograph, and whenever I see that, amazing. And where was this launched from? From a church in Kerala, Tumba. Right, again, you see, how everyone came together for a nation's cause, right? Backed up by, once again, I want to reiterate the science and technology, right? And our vision, our emphasis on science. And obviously, that is why we are all here today, right? What brings us together? I'm sure you are all from different places. Some of the people could not come from different places, but we are all here. We have gathered here to celebrate this science and technology that we are pursuing. And that is the passion that brings us together, right? And that's why these are the places where the cross-fertilization is not just the science cross-crop that is happening, right? It is the cultural cross-crop that also happens at these higher learning institutions that I am extremely proud of, and that I feel is the main cause that brings people together of this vast country. Right? If you go to, for example, say at LMC, you have people from every state probably, right? It's not just Maharashtra. We have people from Punjab, we have similarly now CENS, we have people from everywhere. These are the places which are bringing people from other territories and etc. bringing together. And this is where we talk to each other. This is why we try to understand it. Right? So my humble request to all of you is not only talk science, talk if you're seeing a person from other places or other states, talk to them and try to find out what brings them here. Right? So I think that is extremely important. Again, so let me take back to 1947. Who would, I don't know, 1947 to somewhere around 55, 60, somewhere around that time, in the first 13 years, 15 years of time, Who would think with that frugal budget of some 200 crores, etc. per year, who would think of starting these higher learning institutions? But we have started that. What are the types of higher learning institutions we started? We have the CSIR labs, 38 of them, right? We have ICAR labs, we have ICMR labs, we have ISRO, we have EEA, DAE, we have DST, we have DBT, we have IITs, we have IISc, which of course started much before independence anyway. We have continued support. We have IAMs, right? Can we think of starting these things when we are fighting for food? See the vision, right? That is the vision. The vision is that, yeah, we are struggling today, but this is also important. We have to protect our present, but we have to also think of the future. I think that is what is extremely important, and that is what we need to kind of continue to kind of look at, be proud of, and contribute to. Right? That is extremely important to me. And whenever these things happen, whenever some scientific intervention had to happen, it is the trained manpower that contributed. Right? This is where I have immense faith in all of you. Right? It is this trained manpower. If there is a need, if there is a cause, if there is a necessity, we all step in and contribute. Right? Otherwise, also we need to carry this scientific temper wherever we are, or whatever job or occupation or whatever we are doing. This scientific temper, this logical thinking, this rational, right, approach is extremely important. Right? What are we doing? If we have that, the only few problems that we still have, maybe because of the huge population, is our lack of discipline, I would say. Right? And being in Bangalore, I need not tell you, right, what are the kind of perils of lack of discipline. When you are on the road, you can see that, right? Okay, nobody follows any traffic signals, nobody follows anything, right? I don't have to say that. It's not just Bangalore, any other state, the city as well. But Bangalore is the most biggest difficulties of these kinds of things. But if we have that, right, if we also inculcate, again, my appeal to the younger generation, leave us. We are kind of spent force. We are not of any use almost, right? But when this is you need to carry this, right? If you see something like this happening, you need to stop it. You need to object to it, right? So that kind of disciplined approach, that this is not for me, this is not only for me, this is for my future as well. Not only my future, it's also my future generation as well. If we bring that kind of a thinking process or thought process to our daily approach, as I said, it is scientific approach to our daily routine, that is extremely important, right? If I'm jumping a red signal, we should understand that this might cause choking, right? It's not that I'm only doing it, that all others follow. Not like that. Okay, so please do that. So last few minutes, okay, so 12 minutes is over. That's what it is telling me. So last few minutes, so what kind of a science we should do? Right? When we do the science, what kind of a science we do? What kind of problems that we should select? Right? So what are the kind of problems that we should select and how we need approach? Let me give one more small example. We all know about railways, right? Railways, the James Watts and all those things. By the way, we all are told that James Watt saw his plate tumbling on a steaming boiling water, and therefore he invented some steam engines were there before him also. Right? If you really go to the history. So these are all happening somewhere around 1760s and 1750s, right? This invention of steam engines were happening in 1760s. But the real steam engines or locomotives, as we call them, actually happened somewhere around 1825 in UK. Okay, 1825 to 1830, UK has put railroads of approximately 200 kilometers. By 1870, there were 20,000 kilometers in the UK, right? 20,000 kilometers of rail tracks were built. What was causing? Locomotives, as I said, were known, right? Steam engines were known. What was not known or what was causing the hurdle or what was the hampering point were the railroads or the rail tracks, right? There was something missing. The steel that was available was not good enough to be carrying this rail or heavyweight engines and wagons for a long distance and for a long time. right? They're using some kind of a steel. And suddenly a new invention came in steel production. I'm sure that my metallurgists or material scientists here would kind of appreciate that. Wrought iron and then like a hot rolled steel, etc., started being available. And that just, so what I'm trying to again see is the development was in material science or metallurgy, but that kind of caused the development of railroads. And that, all happened. Even in India, 1953, right, and Bombay to Pune, from 30 kilometers, 34 kilometers. And by 1900, 1850, 34 kilometers railroad was built, tracks were built. 1900, 38,000 kilometers of track were built, right? Because some change in the material processing or metallurgical processing of steel, and that steel was available, and you can see how the development happened. So this is what happens. So we need to be prepared. We also should be looking at other fields, right? What is happening with the other person next door to me? Whether it is biology, I'm happy Professor Narayan is here. You probably will be talking about some biology, chemistry interface, or materials biology interface, etc. What is happening in the next door, right? It's not that it is not my field. Don't do that, right? These are the occasions. Talk to people, right? I have immensely benefited by talking to biochemists, by talking to catalyst people, chemical engineers. I have immensely benefited in my research, progress. When I talk to these people, I have learned a lot, right? So please be open and learn more, and then identify that problem. For example, again, one last example, and then I will stop. Hydrogen, right? There is a lot of talk about hydrogen, and everybody is saying that I would make an electrolyzer, I would heat water at lower cost, etc. It's not that it is not important. That is important. But if hydrogen were to become an economy, what is the most important is storage and transport. Hydrogen utilization is also known, fuel cells are known. Really, these are still very expensive things, so you need to bring cost, but the technology per se is available. How to do it, we know. But with respect to storage and transport, even how to do it, we don't know, because hydrogen cannot be compressed. One of the lightest gases. Making cylinders is very difficult. The type of cylinders that are required are extremely difficult. So how do you do it? What kind of a technologies are required? So you need to identify that. I'm not asking you to everybody to run now and then do the research and hydrogen storage, but I want you to understand or identify those important gaps in research. Like I said, the most important research for train networks to be developed came from metallurgists, right? Not who kind of made the locomotives or wagons, etc. So please do that, and I hope this Icames 2023 would kind of bring that new concepts into focus, and you will all learn from each other, and it will all contribute hugely to the benefit of all of us. And I do really look forward to what is happening, and I will be very happy kind of if somebody comes up and says, this is what is happening. Unfortunately, I may not be here, the rest of the day, but I wish you all a great conference, an enjoyable conference, a fun-filled conference. Let us not, forget that. When we do science, we need to do it with a passion and have fun, right? I see a lot of, right? Have fun, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Another round of applause to Professor Peter. Dr. Prasad has enlightened us with his vast knowledge and wisdom. His substantial contributions to the field of science has left an indelible mark, enlightening and inspiring many of us. We now have Professor Mahesh Narayan, who is also our guest of honor from the University of Texas, USA. I request him to release the souvenir. Science and technology is best when it brings people souvenir. Thank you. And now we request our guest of honor, Professor Mahesh Narayan, to address the gathering. Grace us with his insightful words and enlighten us with your wisdom, sir. Please.
Uh, Good morning, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure and a delight to be at this venue in the August gathering of so many uh, individuals who have achieved so much in such a short time. I was particularly inspired by a couple of things. As soon as I came onto the campus, I noticed that the infrastructure was fantastic, right? Again, buildings can be built, but what defines the campus are the students. So I found a very lively group of people, uh, all interacting with one another. I think many of them are here now heading towards this conference. And then we next went to the principal's office, a beautiful setting, where I met Dr. Prasad along with the principal, Dr. Naidu, Dr. Madhu, and my good friend, Dr. Sampath Chinnan, Dr. Dixit, Dr. Chana, etc. Over the coffee and the tea, I was able to learn a little bit about MS Ramaiah Institute. Uh, just by way of introduction, I've been a Bombayite most of my life, but then my parents and grandparents live in Hanuman Nagar, Baswangudi, Gandhivada, right? So the bookend of my life or my family is one bookend is Bangalore, the other bookend is Mysore. You can find 99.9% of our relatives there. Couple of scattered around Hubli, Dharwad. They are always an anomaly. But what I want to say here is, especially I'm not qualified to address the dignitaries and folks in the first two rows, but this is for the students. I think you have a fantastic campus and you have a fantastic faculty, and this is a great opportunity. In fact, it's a privilege, right? To be able to study here and learn not only from your faculty, but from one another. Uh, Across the three talks by Dr. Naidu, Dr. Madhu, and Dr. Prasad, it's very clear that this is a very special time and place to be in the sciences and engineering. There's tremendous inroads being made in materials science, ceramic science. So you've heard of MOPS, POPs, they're all over the place, almost ubiquitous, right? Whether it is to split for oxygen evolution or uh, hydrogen reduction reactions, or for cleaning water, it doesn't matter, right? Omar Yagi and Omar Farah, I'm sure you've heard these names. They have been vying for the Nobel Prize for the last few years, and it's just, I think, a matter of time before they share it. Nanoparticles, given the fact that they are very small in size and the fact that they exhibit a tremendous amount of surface area, they are sort of a panacea almost for anything. So you find nanoparticles in water treatment, you find nanoparticles in agriculture. In fact, in the US, cannabis, ganja, I don't know whether I'm allowed to use those words here, marijuana. Earlier it used to be a no-no. Then it became recreational and now it is medicinal. And then there are two cannabinoids, THC and CBD, right? One is used for epilepsy and the other is used for pain. So over the last 2 years, to tune the wavelengths of lights that are incident, right? Because the plant genome response, you can't take the plant genome for granted. Just because the plant is mute, it doesn't mean it doesn't have a voice. It prefers a certain wavelength of light. And you can read some of these fantastic papers where they've used nanomaterials to tune the wavelength of light and increase the ratio of CBD to THC or vice versa. It's tailor-made, right? You have nanomaterials, I'm going to talk about carbon quantum dots, in biomedicine, in theranostics, almost everywhere. Ceramics, at the University of Texas at El Paso, there's a lot of work funded by NASA and the Air Force laboratories for coatings in spacecraft. As they're coming down, it gets heated. So there's a huge role for ceramics to play over there. So I think the faculty, the facilities, they are absolutely fantastic. And then you then have a duty and a responsibility to do your best. Again, I'm only addressing the students. To take advantage of this opportunity, make the most of it. It's a very nice time, a very exciting time. In fact, if you see the American Chemical Society, ACS, or the Royal Society journals, most of them now are dedicated to materials, right? I'm a card carrying biophysicist. The impact factor of biochemistry, JBC, biophysical journal is south of 4, right? But if you look at materials journals, 15, 16, 25, right? Materials today is 30.1. So again, it doesn't mean just the US or Europe, but even in India, there is no doubt that materials, whether it be in agriculture, whether it be in energy storage, whether it be in splitting water, it doesn't matter what. They have a front and center role to play. And being situated at this campus in Bangalore, which I think is the scientific hub of India, Dr. Rastogi, please, Rastika, please forgive me. He's from NCL. But I think Bangalore is a fantastic place to be in, it's a fantastic facility. I would like to thank my good friend, Dr. Sampath Chinnam, who I only met physically today. We have been virtual friends for the last couple of years. And all the organizers, starting with the principal, Dr. Naidu, Dr. Madhu, Dr. Archana, the gentlemen in the middle are very important. They are the paymasters, right? You have to keep the finance folks happy. And again, all the organizers. I'm in a dilemma. I'm faced with a big dilemma because I only brought carry-on luggage. I've been thinking, what do I do with this Ratha, right? But it's a very beautiful gift. And the booklet, the souvenir book is also very nice. So I would like to thank all the organizers and folks for this wonderful session. Unfortunately, I'm held hostage by my own commitments, and I will have to leave shortly after lunch. I think I'm supposed to deliver the keynote address next. Before I do that, if I go over, Dr. Prasad actually has given me about 25 minutes extra time. Now, if I use that, which I'm already doing, and I go over, the worst thing to do is stand between you and lunch, right? So treat this overtime as an appetizer. You get hungry, right? That's the best I can do. So can you please do that? I don't know if you recognize this. This is a Walmart tag, right? So Walmart, most of these stores are going out of business because everybody got into this Amazon model. They don't have any logistics. It's somewhere in Arizona, and there's a robot that picks up something, no manpower. But Walmart is a fantastic organization, and they give you these bags. So keeping in mind it's an alloy ceramics conference, I would like to present the institute under the aegis of the principal, Dr. Naidu, with this thing called NAMBI. Right? It's an alloy, and it's made by Native Americans out of 8 metals. I will open it before I give it to them so that we can look at it. But you could study it if you want to, given the sophistry of the instruments that you have here, and with his permission. So, Dr. Naidu, I request Dr. Chinnam to come forward and receive a personal edition. Is it PowerPoint in here or? Later. I would again like to thank the organizers, all of you, for a wonderful, what I anticipate to be a wonderful session. It's already, looking to be very exciting, very inspiring, expose by our three former speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your insightful talk on materials and recent trends in science and technology, and also for motivating the young minds. We'll have your session just before the lunch, just after IT. So, we have with us today Sri B.S. Ramprasad, sir, who is the Chief Executive GF Engineering and General Sciences. I would request him to address the gathering and say a few words.
Good morning to all of you. Esteemed Chief Guest, Professor B.L.V. Prasad, Director Center for Nano Soft Matter Sciences, Bangalore. Guest of Honor, Professor Mahesh Narayan, FRSC, University of Texas, USA. My colleague, Sri Ram Chandra, Chief of Finance, our principal, Dr. M.R. Naidu, Dr. Madhu, our vice principal, Professor Dikshit, principal academic, Dr. Archana, all the esteemed guests, eminent scientists who are present here, our heads of the departments, our dear students. This is indeed a important occasion for Ramaya Institute of Technology. As you all know, as part of the Diamond Jubilee of Ramaya Institute of Technology, and also centenary celebrations of our founder, we have organized series of international conferences. As mentioned by Professor Madhu, I am sure this is going to be one of the landmark events of this institution. At the very outset, on behalf of the Gokula Education Foundation, it's my duty to express our heartfelt gratitude to the chief guest, Professor B.L.V. Prasad, for having agreed to come here as the chief guest. And his address has been personally also been very useful to all of us. We have, even for a lay person like me, I've been able to, he has been able to drive home how important is this event. Thank you very much. I would also like to express our gratitude to Professor Mahesh Narayan for having agreed to come and give his address. It was very interesting and illuminating. And he has given a very valuable addition to our lab also, and probably has thrown a challenge to all the scientists to understand and study and all that. It's a very, very wonderful gesture. Yes. Thank you. So as we all know, one more thing is I would also like to congratulate all the departments of Ramaya Institute of Technology for having come together for organizing this landmark event today, because we all know that together collaborate to organize such an event. And I would also like to mention here and reassure all of you that our top management is very supportive. All our people, I am sure, will vouch for it. We are also very much excited and eager to see that these events become very fruitful, productive, and at the end of the day, all the outcomes are achieved. And I would also like to emphasize, take this opportunity to emphasize that this research and innovation is a continuous work. We need to be committed and working together. Of course, these conferences sort of flag the achievements in this direction. These emerging areas like today's event, advanced materials in engineering sciences. I would also like to mention here that we have centers of excellence. They have been playing, important role in this continuous work, especially organizing such, international conferences. This is I would like to further emphasize here that this is a wonderful stage platform that has been provided to bring together, collaborate with various premier institutions. This gives an opportunity for, interacting, exchanging the ideas and also various trends and breakthroughs in this area of advanced materials. I am sure all of you will take this opportunity and work towards making this conference very productive in terms of the outcome. Especially, we should be very much aware of the challenge that is engaging our students, exposing our students to new advances, breakthroughs, trends in this emerging area, because we all know that advanced materials, the research, innovation plays a vital role in the everyday day-to-day life common people. That we hope we have come to know is, as the chief guest was emphasizing, the transformation it has brought in our lives, day-to-day lives, it touches our daily life. So there has been a lot of technological solutions to day-to-day problems of the society and the people, which has been possible by science technology in various fields. I'm sure this conference will be a very grand success. All the outcomes will be achieved. And I wish this conference well. Thank you very much for all of you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your presidential address. I now request our Vice Principal, Rama Institute of Technology, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Dikshit, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning. All the dignitaries on and off the dais, HODs, faculty, staff, invitees, and delegates present here. On behalf of Ramaya Institute of Technology, I would like to express my gratitude and propose a vote of thanks. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our esteemed chief guest, Professor B.L.V. Prasad, Director, Center for Nano and Soft Math Sciences, Bangalore, for taking time from his busy schedule to be here and for enlightening with us with his busy, that is, inspiring words. Thank you, sir, for gracing the attention. Second thanks to today's guest of honor, Dr. Mahesh Narayan, Professor and FRSC, Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, University of Texas at El Paso, USA, for sharing his rich experiences and motivating words. Thank you, sir. My sincere gratitude to our National management for all the support in organizing this conference. I extend my gratitude to Sri D.S. Ram Prasad sir, our Chief Executive, and those who are here and available in the gathering. Thank you, sir. Thanks to Sri D. Ramchandra, our Chief of Finance, for giving the appeal. Sir, our principal, for always inspiring us and being a pillar of strength in all the activities. Thank you, sir. Thanks to Dr. Archana, our registrar academic, for her constant support and involvement in all the academic activities. Special thanks to Dr. D.M. Madhu, organizing secretary of this conference, for all his efforts in making the event a grand success. Our sincere thanks to Indian Ceramic Society, Karnataka chapter, for their association in organizing this conference. My sincere thanks to all the program chairs of the conference, Dr. Raji George, HOD of Mechanical, Dr. D.S. Prakash, HOD of IEM, Dr. G.M. Nagbhusha, HOD of Chemistry, Dr. I. Gopal, HOD of Civil, Dr. M.N. Chandraprabha, HOD of Biotechnology, and Dr. A. Jagannath Reddy, HOD of Physics, for all your support and guidance. A big thanks to all the plenary speakers, session chairs, authors, delegates, research scholars, and other invited for making the event a notable one. I would like to thank the register admin, the heads of all departments, section heads, faculty, staff, student volunteers, trust and media for their contribution to make this occasion memorable. Last but not least, I would like to express my thanks to all the coordinators, committee members, volunteers, maintenance staff, and everyone who directly or indirectly contributed to the organization of this function. Thank you one and all. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's break for high tea, and we'll be back in 10 minutes for the keynote address by Professor Mahesh Narayan. So, all the audience are requested to be back for the keynote address. Thank you very much.